For me, finding clarity is going back in time to just remind myself that this is my dream. It is work, it is a business, but it's also my passion, and to be able to have what I love to do be my job is something I never want to take for granted. Hey y'all, I'm Coco Jones here with Genius and our partner Trident, and these are my clarity sessions. The journey of singing and acting has kind of been like yin and yang, honestly. Music was always like where my heart was, but logically I didn't know how to get into it. So at a young age, the next best thing was to try to audition for something. The opportunity was right there. It was tangible. So that's what kind of really got me into acting, was just not knowing how to get into music. But then it taught me what I love about performing in a different way, in a more intimate, in a less about me, more about universal feeling way. And that taught me things about writing song lyrics. What I do like to do once I hear something that I like that's calling to me is I like to think for a little bit, and maybe I'll just lock in and have my notes open. I kind of like to keep my mind running. So maybe I'm like fidgeting with something, maybe I'm chewing gum and I'm thinking about how I want to speak on this record. And then once I have an idea of what I want to say, how I want this concept to be, then I will like try melodies, try like freestyling and seeing what comes out vocally for me. And then that's when you kind of like pick the best parts and you fully write them out. I write my lyrics on my phone, on the notes. I did want to do the whole writing with pen, but I just cannot with my handwriting. It's just giving doctor's note. Like, what does this even say? So I just gave up on that. My parents are very supportive of all of us. I'm one of four, and my parents, their motto is very much, if you're willing to work for it or willing to support, they just want to see work ethic and consistency. My dad was a professional football player, so that's what got him where he was. And my mom, she ran multiple businesses and had her own business. And so they're with whatever. Following your dreams is the green light, but it just has to be your passion, your effort, and you're gonna have to carry that weight. The environment I prefer when I'm in the studio, honestly, when I'm most places, I'm very big on sound, so I don't like to be super loud. Like even when we're writing, I'm like, you got to turn that down, because I want to hear my thoughts too. I really love candles. I love like the low light, and I love the smells. So I am very much the type where I want an intimate session. I feel like if I don't know everyone who's in there, I'm like, oh no. The version of me I could have been if I knew everyone is gone. Who is this person? Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like when people just pull up. No, I'm like, text me, let me know. But yeah, I think it's just because, honestly, for me, crowds remind me of performing. Performing reminds me of being on, and being on is not being me. Being me, if I'm gonna write, it's gonna be like my life, my vulnerability, my stories, pretty personal. I don't want people hearing that, I wouldn't even want like maybe my younger sister in there to hearing, nah, that's my girl, she can hear what I'm doing. It's just like you don't want to be holding back. And I feel like if I don't know somebody in there, I might just hold back a little bit. I think a song that holds the most personal meaning, and of course, besides ICU, because of all of the doors that it's opened for me. Before ICU, I think there was Just My Luck, which is a song I did independently. And at the time, I just moved to LA and I was by myself. I was funding things myself, and it was a very similar scenario where I wanted to make something fun. I was very much into my slow R&B. Then this song came around, and it was just so dark and powerful, and I was like, I don't even have anything dark to say. Like, I'm good. And I don't know what happened, but I think all of the pent-up frustration that I was having with not understanding why I wasn't signed and what it takes for me to like get to the relevancy that I'm looking for. Am I even a real artist? Like, do I even know what I'm doing here? What is gonna happen here? It was such a time of uncertainty that I guess it just unlocked all of these suppressed emotions in me. Can you turn the volume up on my ears? That sounds good. I beat off too much, but I still keep it clutch. I know how to chew it up. Oh yeah, chew it up. I know how to chew it up. Oh, babe. Cool. Preparing for a tour is very exciting. I think it's a way to kind of refresh the songs and give them a new perspective, and the audience loves them already, so maybe surprising them with like a remix or combining something iconic from the past with something from the present. I love to do that. It's like really exciting to find new ways to refresh these songs that everybody's learned and fell in love with. And then also, I love choreo, I love high energy, I love taking the crowd on this roller coaster of emotion. So piecing together that story of what the performance is gonna look like and feel like is such a fun creative process. And it's really like a lot of hard work, a lot of little details for a big payoff, and then it becomes like second nature. Something you've been preparing for becomes, you know, you don't even think about the moves. I think when I'm recording my vocals, my mom always taught me to really feel it behind the microphone so that it translates through the speakers. So I'm kind of in there performing low-key while I'm recording. So I think about the performance in the studio, but I think also as an artist, so many other things are on your mind. I kind of forget to really think about the performance until it's time to prep for tour, just because there's a lot of other things you think about, but it first pops in my mind when I'm in the studio recording a song. When I do put on these sparkly outfits and have this glam and huge hair, and I even get longer nails and just the shiniest jewelry, it's kind of like I'm a superhero in a way. Like I feel like I dress up in this alternate world, and it kind of like refreshes my mind to take me out of whatever bothered me that day, you know, because I'm still a human. But when I put on these outfits and when I put on the heels and everything sparkly, bedazzled to a T, I just feel like my job is to just be Coco. Building a set list, I think, is a team effort, because I think you want everybody's input that you trust on your team to really craft a show that feels universally high energy, or the perfect amount of highs and lows, you know? And so I have my own perception of what songs I think should be the ones, but I don't want to be, you know, the only input. I really think also trusting your choreographer, your creative director to help you build out a show is important. I think that makes it more universal when more of my team pitches into what they think the show set list should be. So behind the scenes in the dressing room, sometimes there's music. It depends on the vibe, man. Honestly, most of the time there's silence. And then there's a strategic, quick interval of Beyonce music, because I'm watching her perform, because I'm studying it, because it's powerful. And then I might sing my songs to warm up, but other than that, I don't want to hear nothing. Another thing that I use in my real life that also correlates with my show is gratitude. I feel like a lot of the time we can get so caught up in what we have going on, and in my family life, that's in business, that's on stage, because gratitude is so powerful.
It's Coco Jones!